I'm Patrick Spires Jacobson. I'm 7 years old from Orlando, Florida. I have cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is, it's difficult for kids to walk that has cerebral palsy like me. At CECO, I learned how to walk and be strong in my legs. I could walk all by myself now.
Having a child with special needs is very challenging for yourself, for your relationship with your family, your husband, and the community, because not everybody understands what you are going through in your daily life. But coming to CECO, you would never know that the children have disabilities because they come to CECO with a smile on their face every day. They come in the door, they are welcomed, they are greeted, they are loved. Their friends say hello, the staff says hello, the assistants that work with them, they make them feel welcome like they are in a typical school, not that they are the child that everybody is staring at.
And 15 years ago, around 2001, John came to me because of some neighbors of his who are dear friends of mine as well. And they were starting a new school. When we first saw the children, at the very beginning, it touched our hearts. And so to be able to do something with John for the benefit of our friends, the Raymonds, was a gift.
You get to a point where you realize that the system is controlling you, and you say, enough's enough. I need to control this process. Nobody is going to look out for my son the way we are going to look out for our son. And that's when it changed. That's when we really realized that we need to take control. We need to make a difference in his life.
I remember when my grandparents and my parents first started coming up with the idea of CECO, we all took a trip over to Hungary, because they wanted to do their research and they wanted to see what conductive education was. So we went to the Peto Institute where it all began, and we saw how wonderful the program was. And so it was really interesting. We got to come back, and as soon as we got back, my parents, and my grandparents, they started the program.
It was what we believe were just 6 children. Today it has grown to over 300 children that they are servicing.
It wasn't just about the kids, it became about the families. It became about what we did and what we created here at CECO for the parents and the family, because when you have a child with motor disabilities, you have to run them around all day long, and you come home and you got to sit there and do therapies, and you got to do these things, and it doesn't allow you to have a life or to take a breather, and it makes it very difficult. And I think that's really what CECO represents. It's not only helping kids, but it's helping families to do better in the community.
The thing that makes conductive education so unique is that this is a developmental method that teaches all kinds of life skills to children and adults with motor disabilities. This is a lifestyle that focuses on every aspect of the human development, such as fine motor, gross motor, communication, cognitive skills, self-care, social, emotional. The difference between therapy and conductive education is that therapy is just for an hour, half an hour, a day, or a week, but conductive education teaches life skills that can be implemented, or it is implemented in the daily activities at home. It's a non-stop life skill method.
Kylie was born 7 weeks early. She had a traumatic birth. The doctor said that it took him 10 minutes to get her heart beating. So all that time without oxygen caused a traumatic brain injury, which is cerebral palsy. They didn't give us much hope. They said, try therapy, see specialists, but pretty much, she's never going to do anything. She's not going to ever, walk or talk or be able to take care of herself. And after being at CECO for about 2 months, I laid her on her mat one day and she just flipped over. And I was like, oh no, she can't be trusted alone anymore. She's mobile now. And so now she can, she does a little army crawl and she rolls. She can get things and do things on her own now that she never could do before. And this summer, for the first time, Kylie said, Mom. And I knew that she said it to me. And after that, she started saying, Bubba, which her biggest fan and her best friend is her brother. And the things that she's saying and doing now are just, it's amazing. This place is amazing, and that's why we're here.
What I've learned here at CECO that I never would have dreamed to have ever learned in any other system is that these children can do more than anyone thought possible. And they can walk on their own. They can learn to use their arms and their hands, and they can do things as independently as possible. And every student, what their independence is different, but that's what matters. And you have to focus so attentively on the individual student. And I never would have known to sit back and think about what they can do versus looking at what they can't do.
You can give to a lot of charities for a lot of great causes, but the fact of the matter is you can't give to another one that is going to influence the lives of these children more than conductive education does. Coming here and seeing these children day in and day out has to be the most motivating thing, I think, that anybody could embark upon.
I think as we move forward and we look at what CECO is doing in the community, I think our ultimate goal is to gain greater awareness for conductive education, but for persons living with cerebral palsy and other motor disabilities, and to bring home the fact that 1 in 4 people in this country have a disability, and that number is rising, and that there's a great need for programs like the Conductive Education Center of Orlando to be able to meet the various and diverse needs of persons and individuals with disabilities.
So we see the next 15 years as being a very aggressive growth strategy. Our goal is to help as many kids and adults now with motor disabilities to maximize their potential, to reach the highest level of independence that they can.
It's been nothing short of a miracle to see the advancements they've made in these 15 years and the excitement that the next 15 hold. We've supported schools and hospitals and museums throughout our careers together. But on behalf of our company, DePrince Race and Zolo, and in particular John and I, we would encourage other members of the community to realize that a school like CECO, which is so special and unique, separates our gifts of time and treasure in ways that are very distinct, because you are affecting families and lives that doesn't have Tallahassee's attention and support. Right. So that corporate Orlando can have a material impact on so many lives, families, and children.
$1 here goes further than $1 anywhere else. You can just look around these classrooms, and if you need to be motivated, just come here for a few minutes. That's all it takes, and you will feel the need to give.
Our mantra is that it is possible, and that is in no way more embodied than the almost 100 people that come to work every single day here at CECO that believe it is possible for these children to be independent. It's possible for these adults to reach goals that they had never seen before. And it is possible for us to be able to help each and every person that walks into this door and to be able to give them something that they've never had before, which is a chance.